you want to hire a blockchain developer, there are certain steps which you have to follow, and on the basis of that you have to finalize that whether you want to hire that developer on your project and he has the skills or not. So this video is very important for both the one who wants to hire a developer and the one who wants to get hired. Generally, when I'm hiring any blockchain developer, I follow this 13 step, and the same strategy can be used whether you are looking for a Web 2 developer or a Web 3 developer. This is the exact strategy you have to build. So the first thing is that you have to define your requirement. That what is your requirement? What kind of project you want to build? What kind of technology you want to involve? So you have to make an outline of your entire requirements, based on the skills, based on the experience, based on the qualification. And so if we talk about the blockchain developer, so you have to specify that what kind of blockchain you want to use, whether you want to use Ethereum or Hyperledger. You have to define about the programming language which you want to involve in the blockchain project. So right now we have multiple projects, like multiple programming language. You want to use Solidity or C++, Rust, Golang. What programming language you have to use? So first you have to define and outline your entire skills and experience which you need to require from the developer to work on your project. So first define your requirement. Once you're done with that, move to the next steps, create a job description. And this one is the most important thing if you really want to hire a right developer. So you have to describe all the responsibility, all the qualification, all the skills which are required for your position, for your job. So if you want to build a full stack like NFT marketplace, then what are the skills you need to have and what are the skills you need to expect from the developer to have to work on your project? So you have to outline that. Be specific about the blockchain technology which you want, the tool you want, whether you want to use Hard Hat as a development tool or an Next.js. So you have to be very specific. That will give the clear idea to the developer, so you will not get bombarded with a lot of spam emails that I can work on your project. So be very clear in your job descriptions. Once you're done with the job description, go to the job portals. So right now we have a lot of professional networking sites where you can push this requirement of yours and try to find out the best out of it. So if you talk about the popular sites where you can post your job requirement like LinkedIn, Indeed, Glassdoor, and blockchain specific like Board. So these are the couple of popular platforms you will have, and it is also very important for the developer. Like if you are a blockchain developer newbie, you have to spend time on this particular platform because all this job requirement will come on this. So you can is able to be ready to apply for that. So this one is the very important for both the one who's looking for the developer and the one who wants to get a job. So spend time on the job portals, post job on these popular sites. So once you're done with the third one, now go to the fourth one. Network within the blockchain community, because you are a blockchain developer and you want to have an idea of building a blockchain project. So if you really want to keep yourself update in the blockchain space, if you want to get a higher best developer, then you have to attend the blockchain conferences. When you will go to a blockchain conference, blockchain meetups, blockchain forums, and there you will find a potential clients. They are already involved in the blockchain and they know about the technology, and you can share your skills. You can able to know more about it, and you can able to find out that how passionate about the technology they are. So be involved in the blockchain community. So in that way you can able to keep yourself update, and when you will hire someone, you can able to know that what he is providing and what you need. So that will give you a clear idea both for the developer and both for the one who wants to hire. After that come the 5 steps: review, portfolio, and resume. So here I strongly suggest the one who wants to hire that you have to focus on the project which he or she have included in the resume. If they know the technology, they have mentioned that I have worked in this technology, but if they haven't built the project, so there is a downside. I would never say that you should hire someone who has know the technology but he hasn't built for your project. So try to check all the project. Try to check the technology which you want, which he has included in the project. Then try to check the implementation of the technology which they have involved in the project. And if they have contributed in the open source, then that's a really good opportunity, because if he's worked on the open source project, means that particular candidate hasn't skills. Because working on open source, it's not that easy. So that's the 5th step which you have to follow. Review his resume or her resume and try to understand all the technology and the project. After that, you have to conduct a technical interview. Like design the technical interview in such a way that you can be able to test all the knowledge of the blockchain concepts. Like if you talk about the smart contract development, if you talk about the consensus algorithm, smart contract, security consideration, and other relevant topics. So if you're hiring someone, you have to think in that perspective, is if he's going to work on the protocol or consensus algorithm or a smart contract development, then he has to know about it. Some of them are good with the theoretical, but some of them are not good with the implementation part. So you have to know. That's why technical interview is really very important. And I generally conduct the technical interview, which I will mention that what are the questions I generally ask. So consider expert. If you are not expert, try to hire someone who is good in that, and then just conduct the technical interview. So once you're done with the technical interview, after that comes the seventh one, that's evaluate his soft skills. Because some of the developers are good in their work, but when it's come to working in the work environment, they are not good. Whether they are capable of working in the environment which you have or not. So like technical are crucial, that's absolutely fine, but if he or she has the soft skills such as problem solving, communications, and the ability to work in a team, and also improvements and ability to adapt new changes, because technology will change rapidly. So it's an inbuilt character of a developer to work with a changing environment. So you have to know about this particular, that he has the capability of working with a changing environment or not. So that's the thing, and you can easily able to ask this question when you will talk with them, when you will talk about their previous project and the challenges they have faced in the company. So when you will ask this kind of question to them, you can easily able to find out that whether they are bluffing or they actually solve a particular problem and they have the skills or not. So that's the seventh thing. After that, check reference. Reference is very important, because when you will hire experienced blockchain developer or a newbie blockchain developer, you have to try to contact his relevant resources, references, and try to check that whether whatever he has mentioned in his resume, talk about the colleagues, talk about the previous work, talk about the project which he has built as a freelancer or as a tutorial purpose. Just check about the reliability and the terms of collaborations. All of things you have to check. So always check the reference. Blockchain space right now, it's very hard to get the right developer for your project. Everybody is talking about that they are a blockchain developer, but it's really hard. If you have an idea which you want to implement, it's very hard to get the blockchain developer who can build and work on the idea. So always take a reference. Right now, most of the hirings are happening based on the references. I generally hire based on the references, which project have they built, what are the company they have worked for. So these are the things you have to keep in mind. So that's the 8. Now the number 9 one we have is the culture fit. So you have to know that what kind of culture he has been and how it's worked. Although it's very hard to find out from an individual when you will sit for the interview and when you will go through this process, but you have to consider and try to build an environment around that and find out that whether is the right fit or not. So that's the consider one, and it's an optional one, because you cannot able to find someone's culture behavior in just a short spam. So that's the 9th. After that comes the offer competitive compensation. So if you're hiring someone for a big team, then you have to build a competitive environment. You have to compensate, because if you once you get the right developer for your project, it's very hard to retain them unless or until you not provide something valuable. Because right now, if a good developer, he or she has a lot of demand, so you have to provide a competitive environment, good salary, good project compensation you have to provide. Then you can easily able to sustain and retain the employee, because in development field retaining is such a problem, and that's the thing you have to keep in mind. So you have to provide good offer so he can be in the company for longer time. Now we have the 11th one is provide opportunity for growth. And that's one is very important, because ultimately the developer who will work in your company is looking for the growth in the company. So you have to give him the right opportunity, right strategy, right step, right amount of time which he can expect to grow in the company, and that will give him the clear picture that okay, these are the things I have to do it. This will take this much time. If I do this, I can easily able to get to the ladder. So that's the 11. And now 12th one we have is remote work. Right now, if you really want to reach the good developers which are available not in your country, then you have to implement this strategy called remote work. So if you're a big company, then definitely you can simply hire them and you can call them in your country to work for. But if you're just a startup and you want to just working up, then definitely you can consider involvement of the remote work, so they can be able to work on your project. And in that way, what will happen that if the right candidate is not available in your region, you can simply expand your reach and you can hire someone from other country, and that will give you the opportunity to get the best candidate. And the last but not the least, we have the legal compliance. So it always very important that before you finalize any job description, any project, you have to follow the legal compliance. Means what amount of money you're going to pay, and this one is important for both developer and the one who wants to hire. Like, you have to build some sort of agreement. Don't just work on the project by the communication or just like that. You have to have some legal documentation when you work on a project, and that way it will bring the responsibility on the both side, for the employer and for the employee. So they have the both responsibility and they can fulfill the requirement. If you not involve any legal compliance, the developer might can leave the job or the employer cannot pay you. So this is the exact strategy I follow when it's come to hiring any developer for Web3, Web2, and generally I go with this approach. In that way, it helped me to find out whether he has the skills or not. And when someone tells me to hire someone on behalf of them, then this is the exact strategy I follow, and it's pretty clear. So hope you guys have got an idea for both the one who wants to hire and the one who gets to hire. This is the thing you have to keep yourself consider. And this is how you have to prepare yourself. So if you're a developer and if you want to build an impressive portfolio, build skills, then these are the things you have to keep in mind, that how companies shortlist the candidate and how they interview. So definitely I'm going to include these kind of videos. Very soon I'm going to create one more video, and that I have show you that how you can build a job description for a blockchain developer. So a video will come on that, where I will mention that what are the things you have to mention, an example, so you can check, and on the basis of that you can easily able to build your skill if you're a developer. So that's the only thing I want to talk about in this video. Hope you guys have got an idea that what are things you have to keep in mind if you want to hire and if you want to get hired, and where you have to spend your time, what you have to spend your time. So that's the only thing from my end. If you're new to my channel, hit like and subscribe. Motivate me a lot to come up with this kind of videos and help me to grow my channel. So that's the only thing. Have a wonderful day. Bye bye.